So it has nothing to do with whether these people were credible or not. Their case is a civil case alleging state law claims of assault after being drugged. That was not the case that was brought by the U.S. attorney. And frankly, that's not a case that could be brought by the U.S. attorney, and which
Tony,
is the point
your
that
own client
you
accused
made.
Jay-Z and Diddy of raping her when she was 13, and we all saw it was all nonsense. It was
I don't know
absolutely false.
anything
It was
you're one
absolutely
of these
false. She
people.
said Good Charlotte was there. They weren't there. She was 13
the
years old. Her
mailman.
own
You're like the
father said it was
mailman
all
in Piers.
nonsense. Jay-Z
You're
sued
like the
you over
mailman.
that. Come on.
What's up, y'all? DJ Vlad just joined Tony Buzbee on the Piers Morgan show, Piers Morgan Uncensored, to completely expose the fraud that is attorney Tony Buzbee. Someone who chases lawsuits and is constantly smacked down. And the Piers Morgan show being the venue for this combat is hilarious. I would have never expected it. Going from debating war crimes to the Diddy case shows wild versatility. But Piers doesn't care. If people are debating about something, especially something so high profile as the Diddy case, it might as well happen on his platform. Vlad is going to talk about how Tony Buzbee's clients, quote unquote, never actually materialized or were used in this case, or any case for that matter, whether the cases were thrown out and dismissed or not deemed credible enough to bring up to the witness stand. And as we see here, Tony Buzbee is not someone who's just looking for justice, as he set up a hotline for Diddy's alleged victims to come forward. At that point, he filed 3 new lawsuits and promised, quote, more to come. Before we get to the showdown, here's Tony Buzbee's press conference when he announced the hotline.
The biggest secret in the entertainment industry that really wasn't a secret at all has finally been revealed to the world. The wall of silence has now been broken, and victims are coming forward. Our team has had at this point more than 3,285 individuals contact us with people claiming to have been victimized by Sean Combs. After vetting, we now represent 120 individuals who intend to bring civil claims in civil court against Sean Diddy Combs, as well as claims against many other individuals and entities that we will name as defendants as we file these individual cases.
He said he's representing 120 people and none of them were accepted. No matter what you think about DJ Vlad, when he's right, he's right.
With Tony Buzbee, at the end of the day, like he said, that the feds talked to multiple people that he's representing that were suing, but they decided not to use any of them, which makes me think that there wasn't any real credible, real evidence that they actually did anything wrong in the whole situation. Therefore, there's only 2 people that were actually used. The only person that was actually that filed a lawsuit that was used in this case was Cassie. And there's over 100 lawsuits. So what does that say? That says the lawsuits are all nonsense.
Wrong. You know, I listened to you.
And some of which of your clients was used in this case?
Let's be clear about something.
Which of your clients was used in this case?
Hey, listen very carefully. If the alleged assault happened in LA, there was nobody flown in, there was nobody coerced and trafficked across state lines, they wouldn't use the client, obviously. These cases that we have filed in New York are filed under a New York statute for sexual assault and sexual abuse. That's completely different than transportation for prostitution or for sexual trafficking, and certainly has nothing to do with RICO. So you just made this grand conclusion that, the U.S. attorney talked to a few of these folks and decided they had no credibility. You are flat out wrong in that respect, because
none of them were used. None of them were used. How am I wrong if none of them were used?
Decided is that there was nothing that happened across state lines, and there was no sexual trafficking, which is what the case was all about. So it has nothing to do with whether these people were credible or not. Their case is a civil case alleging state law claims of assault after being drugged. That was not the case that was brought by the U.S. attorney. And frankly, that's not a case that could be brought by the U.S. attorney, and which
Tony,
is the point
your own
that
client accused Jay-Z and Diddy of raping her when she was 13, and we all saw it was all nonsense. It was absolutely false. It was absolutely false. She said Good Charlotte was there. They weren't there. She was 13 years old. Her own father said it was all nonsense. Jay-Z sued you over that. Come on. Like you have a long history, not credible
give you a little
bit
of information,
a long history,
all these broad,
a long history.
You don't even know what you're talking about.
Have you won a single lawsuit with any of these people you've represented? A single lawsuit.
Literally 30 days ago for $640 million, pal. So don't be telling me about winning lawsuits.
With Diddy?
More lawsuits
With
than
Diddy?
any lawyer in the United
Diddy?
States. So I don't hear
With Jay-Z.
you,
How many lawsuits have you won
commentators
against
talking
Diddy and
about
Jay-Z? How
There
many
haven't been any
lawsuits
that
have you
went to
won against
trial,
Diddy and
knucklehead.
Jay-Z?
None that went to trial yet, knucklehead.
Zero
Think about it.
lawsuits.
They don't just
Zero
file a
lawsuits.
case and go to trial.
Zero
Wait
lawsuits.
and see.
You won
Wait and see.
nothing.
Okay, let me
nothing.
just jump. All right, look,
You're a knucklehead.
the reality
Okay,
is
there we go. Now we're
the
gonna
reality
go
is
into
we're going to
name
find
calling.
out, right?
Because
We'll find.
when I
We
calling
will
out the
find
actual
out.
facts,
well, we're going
now
to
you
find
wanna
out,
name
Vlad.
call.
We're going to find
Okay.
out, Vlad, whether any of these civil cases do end up.
None of them will be won. Maybe
well,
one or two will be settled because of their headaches.
Okay,
None of
well-
them will
there
be
are
won in
over
the court of
100
law.
people
Not
that-
a
The
single
one thing
Not
I
a
do
single
think
one.
is
Vlad is very clear. None of those lawsuits will be won. Tony Buzbee is just trying to gain clout for himself by fishing for something, hoping that Diddy or any other high-profile name will just try to pay them off to just settle it behind closed doors and put an end to the public humiliation. He's hoping that they settle. He doesn't really want to go to court. And these type of strategies is why people don't like lawyers. Because you could be defending people that actually have something to say and actually have real problems in the world. But you choose to focus all your time and energy and money on clout chasing. Kind of pathetic. But we'll see any updates. And if you're watching this far, you might as well like the video and subscribe to the channel. Peace.